And welcome back here to SGLive2019 in Herndon, Virginia. We are on the semifinals of the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament between jkoper and fcoughlin. And we are going into game number 2 with Fred with a 1-0 series lead. So if Fred wins this, he moves on to the championship. jkoper needs this to stay alive in the tournament. So I'm here with El Soa. Talk about game 1 real fast.
So game 1 was a very even race between the two runners. Both of them had gotten all their items out of other dungeons before realizing, oh, 7's power bracelet blocked. They both had the red ring kind of close to each other. They both had power bracelet relatively close. They were about a minute or two apart going into 9. The crucial difference was jkoper left an item behind in 7. Fred did not.
Absolutely. And level 9 wound up having the silver arrows. jkoper pulling out the book in level 9, finding out that Zelda was where she was, Ganon was where he was, and, well, unfortunately made the move to go back to level 7, where he only found the heart container just as Fred had finished this seed. So here we go. These runners are all set and ready to go. Let's do this game number 2 of this best of 3 series, and we got ourselves a very nice start screen.
Oh, absolutely. It's a start screen where it's very convenient to route in Vanilla 1, Vanilla Start, the Deadwoods, the Forest. Really, the only thing it's far away from is, well, nothing.
Level 2 is at level 1.
Well, okay then.
And that is going to be the first dig for these runners, as we see some likes in the very first screen, a Goma on the second screen. Oh my.
Now, level 2, being one of our dungeons with a floor drop, generally tends to be more combat blocked than not.
And we see ourselves blocked off by everything that is possible here, so both runners are going to say no. Fred went back to the start. jkoper just left the dungeon here, so he's planning on maybe exploring the Armos area first, while Fred wants to get to the Vanilla Start area. We see Gorillas, just like in game number 1, they're on the overworld, but also robes came out onto the overworld as well. However, I don't see any whiz robes.
I don't either, although I haven't seen much besides the Gorillas and the Octoroks yet.
Well, we've seen Tektites, we've also seen ropes on the overworld, so there's something else that got put into the dungeons. 116 for the large secret, just like the first seed, a lot of money early on.
So I wonder if knowing that you have a lot of money available in the seed, do you start prioritizing things like a candle and a arrow purchase as we find the any roads?
One of them takes you right to a vanilla any road. So that already eliminates one of our power bracelet spots. And oh, 40 for the mid secret.
This is going to be a very generous seed on the money. I would expect that Blue Ring is now very much an option for these runners to purchase.
We find a potion shop at the potion shop.
Well, there's like 9 of them available. 8 or 9 of them, I think.
Oh, I don't know which potion shop it was. It didn't mark itself like store number 3. Well, now we can buy some potions.
I wonder if he's going to go back and immediately show the potion person, hey, here's the letter, and then see that the red potion is expensive, probably.
jkoper trying to get past the Octoroks to get himself into, as Fred just barely gets past the Armos there before taking the death, only to find that it's a door repair charge, but he does an up and A before he gets sacked the money.
Yes, the trigger for the money deduction in the door repair rooms is when the text finishes.
You remember when we had slow-moving text?
Yeah, it was very easy to do then. Unless you got, like, the exclamation point or just ha, and then your money goes away.
Or knee.
Yeah.
Level 4 is at the desert shop.
Making sure I have my...
Level 4, having Lionel's inside.
Yeah. That's right. Well, we know they're not on the overworld. And whiz robes.
Lionel's and whiz robes together, oh my. But we got ourselves a staircase. This could be the item, unless this is a segmented 4.
It's a segmented 4.
As I said, that right as he goes in the staircase, we have ourselves the commentator curse. Oh god, if this was the room that the item is in.
It probably is.
It probably is.
So, For those that don't know, I am known for being relatively trolly on what I wish upon the runners. I was nice last seed. I want to see a full 5-item chain reaction this seed. Recorder leads to Power Bracelet, leads to Raft, leads to Bow, leads to Silvers under a Goba.
I'm going to go ahead and leave you right now because I have an 8:30 train to catch. I might need to get myself ready to go now because I don't know if I'm going to be done with this before the commentary is done and over with. Fred picking up the book. jkoper did not.
And it kind of shows that the book is... The value of the book with all of the maps, as we saw in Game 1, gave Fred the knowledge that, hey, there's some really weird rooms in 9. The fact that he is going to have all of the maps in under 5 minutes... It's actually quite powerful.
Yeah, especially since we're on the only dungeon we've seen so far. Well, we've seen 2 dungeons, 2 and 4. As jkoper's trying to find where this wood sword is. It can be in any open cave. And we find ourselves another mid-secret. We haven't seen the blue ring shop just yet, so we don't know how much it's going to cost to get that blue ring. As Fred finds yet another level. And there's the power of the map right there. We have level 3 for Fred.
At the far northeast 100 secret. As jkoper finds level 1 at the same time.
Level 1 is a better find because you might find an item on the floor. And what if that's the white sword as we see a HUD clip for Fred? Power bracelet, the item in 1.
I don't think, based on last seed, jkoper is going to say no to that early.
And thankfully he was able to pick up that power bracelet before he took the hug by the Lionel to take him back to the start of level 1.
That is something you can do is if you find a dungeon, you can immediately up an A once you're in there and you will be reset back to 3 hearts. So if you're lower on health than 3 hearts and you want to keep exploring on the overworld, you pop in a dungeon, up A, and then immediately keep exploring. I didn't quite catch how much the door repair was, but it seems like it was in the 20+ range.
Yeah, so that rolled a little bit high, but we've given these runners a lot of rupees, so they can stomach these taxes all they want.
Yeah. I want to say level 1 was that... Ooh, that's an arrow shop. jkoper doesn't have any rupees.
That is definitely an arrow shop. It is a very expensive arrow shop. What was it, 99?
I think it was 97.
Ooh, that's still very high. And we do see the map for level 1, so that's the power of having the book right there for Fred. As he makes his way over to the right, he's going to see the power bracelet, but he's also going to see the Lionels that inhabit this dungeon.
I would just like to point out that level 1 and 2 swapped spots for this seed. I didn't catch what the coast item was.
It was the recorder.
Oh, well that's nice.
So we've already seen the power bracelet, we've already seen the recorder that opens up 3 or 4 additional spots because we've already seen one of the take any roads turn out to be a power bracelet spot, so that eliminates that from the pool.
So the question will become, how much value will the runners put on that raft at this point, knowing that, oh, it wasn't 99, but Fred's going to buy those arrows.
Well, it was a purchase that definitely paid off for him in game number 1, although both runners ended up using that to their advantage. But, you know, having the wood arrows early on, if you find the bow, just definitely gives you an offensive upgrade.
And there is an adage amongst a large portion of the Zelda 1 community that is, if buying wooden arrows will somehow force silver arrows to be the next item you find, they will be bought every single seed.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, in this case, we don't know. But very well could be in this level 3. But we are ladder blocked from that direction. Darknut's in level 3.
We now know that ladder is required no matter what anybody says about that recorder. Because if we saw the map on Fred's side, that's the only way to get out of that entrance room.
That is 100% correct. We have yet to see any of the take-any's for the chance for one of these runners to pick up a candle, so we have yet to go without any offensive combat items.
For that matter, we also have not seen the candle shop. In the event that they decide, because the money is so good in this seed, they may choose to just purchase the candle and take the extra heart, or the extra potion, depending on how late they find it.
Fred finding a take any road. He's going to go ahead and take these to figure out what they are going to do. Probably hate himself when he finds out that the second one goes right there, but he already has the power bracelet, so it's not like it's a big deal.
And that one any road on Death Mountain may actually prove to be very fruitful in the future once they have some bombs. jkoper's going to try his hand again at the White Sword screen, as it's known. And this screen is deceptively difficult to do more often than not.
I think he's got it now. He's got himself past there enough. He can get inside, and there is our candle shop for 79 rupees, but he doesn't have enough rupees to make that purchase.
Yeah, that is a that is going to be probably something jkoper will not go back to unless he finds Wood Sword quickly, which Fred has just found at
Level 6.
Level 6. And you can kind of see on the face cam what looked like a little bit of a sigh of relief finally having gotten that.
So, Fred now with the ability to kill things, he does pick up some bombs. Now jkoper picks up some rupees, so he knows where the candle shop is. Does he make his way back over towards there, or does he continue to explore? He's going to continue to explore this area.
I think this makes sense. He still hasn't seen where the Wood Sword is. He could still find a take any and not have to buy that candle. To me, it makes sense to go ahead and keep exploring, as Fred's going to go ahead and check some of our spots over here near the grave. Yeah,
and there is our magical sword, or the white sword item, the magical boomerang is what I mean to say. And that was the magical boomerang in the last seed, too.
Yeah. The randomizer is showing us a very consistent pattern right now.
It's 100% evil.
Well, I mean, we knew that coming in, Rick.
You are correct. And these runners should know it by now, too, considering the fact that Fred created this thing.
Yes, and jkoper's been around since the early days.
Yeah, he's part of the early crew that has been playing this game since day number 1 as Fred takes the death here. And jkoper is purchasing the 42 rupee bait.
You know, I am one of those people that will never disagree with a bait purchase if you have the money for it. And he's also going to buy a key.
72 rupees, a very, very inexpensive key, a good purchase for him to make. You never know when the key's going to help you out. We've already seen ourselves with a key block in level 2, plus a Goma, of course, but I think the key is a little more important, especially when you pop into a Shapes dungeon and you're not certain where you need to go.
And maybe that's what jkoper's thinking is, if nothing else, he could try to use the meat to gather the enemies in a certain spot so he can have an easier time passing through as he picks up the second large secret of the seed.
So Fred's going to clear out this room with the like legs, so we had no way of killing them earlier on. Also, don't forget that Fred does have bombs, and there was a room to the right of where we got shot in our first path through this level 2. Now watch this to be where the map is.
You know, I gotta say that sometimes it's easy to underestimate. Sometimes it's easy to underestimate how powerful that early map book combo can be until you walk into something like a level 6 or a level 8 and you immediately know how big it is, you immediately know where the choke points are, and you immediately know if it's segmented or not, so you know how many stairs to expect.
And you notice that Fred ended up choosing to go bomb to the right as opposed to bombing down. That's because there's a possibility that you may not be able to bomb down in level 2 because that could be where the old man turns out to be. So we find a heart container in level 2, but we don't know if that's the item of the dungeon because the hearts, they are not shuffled.
That is correct. And we know that the item will not be in this room. However, Fred does stand a decent chance of getting bombs, and he does get them.
Yeah, with those moblins right there, and we get ourselves a shoot room, so Fred is going to have to clear out this room of these moblins right now as jkoper takes the death after picking up the white, or rather the wood sword.
You know what I say to that shoot room? Oh, shoot.
And there's a good reason why Fred didn't bomb down. It did turn out to be an old man there.
I think Fred had a pretty good idea. Fred could probably have deduced pretty well that that's where the old man was going to be.
Yeah, because there's very few rooms that they actually could have been inside of this level 2. Now, remember, jkoper did not pull out the book from the Armos item. And you can see that he's going to be trying to bomb blindly or just try to figure out where he needs to go in this level 2 at first until he does pick up that map. Now, the map to level 2 was not bomb blocked, but you had to spend a key to get to that room if you didn't want to spend a bomb.
And keys are not necessarily... I mean, yes, technically they're an infinite resource because you can grind money, you can just buy infinite amounts of keys. But that takes a lot of time. Any key in level 2 is... That's actually kind of interesting that the dungeon that you're most accessible just was a little bit key blocked, had your any key.
Absolutely. So jkoper, if he does explore this level 2, will be happy that he was able to maybe turn a key into an any key. As Fred trying to finish off this room in level 2, he's just looking for the Triforce right now because he's already found the heart container as well in the event that he wanted to expand his health. I mean, we know it's a magical boomerang, but you definitely want to get more than just 3 hearts in this game.
Oh, absolutely. Just Ganon alone will deal 4 hearts of damage when he touches you, so you generally want to try to get to at least 5.
Just become a runner like Crystal Saver or anybody else who decides to run this game damageless. And there's the Triforce for Fred.
I do think, even with the magical key find that jkoper will likely find while he's in here...
He's going to get it. I mean, it's right on the way to the Triforce.
Yeah. The resource advantage lies with Fred just from having those maps and the fact that he isn't bombing blindly in these dungeons.
Absolutely. Now, jkoper does have the map for this level 2. He knows where he needs to go. And as Fred does pick up another of these medium secrets at 40 rupees, trying to figure out where the levels are, we have seen where levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are so far. But we still have 5 more levels we need to find.
Including the all-important level 9, which has absolutely no restrictions on its location other than it's in Hyrule.
So Fred making his way over, trying to screen scroll his way. We know that the recorder is on the rather on the ladder spot there, so we know if there's some dig dugger around, we need to pick up that recorder. Not a guarantee that we definitely need it at this point, but we'll see how the seed transcribes. I know you're hoping for it.
I'm definitely hoping for it. Like, we have not started the chain reaction yet.
We could have the power bracelet leading to a level here by way of the grave that leads to the ladder, that leads to the recorder, that leads to the bow.
And then put the Goma in the Silver's room and have you kill the Goma for the Silvers.
We do find a level here on Death Mountain. It is level 8. It is a double-segmented level.
And jkoper is not going to know that coming in unless he decides to go back and pick that book up. Because Fred knows that, he now knows, okay, there's going to be 2 sets of transport staircases, so I will expect to see more transports than not. And that dividing line of the segment is not big.
Absolutely. So we do find our first transport staircase. It takes you right over to the middle of this upper section of this level 8. We have a shutter door, so we know this is not going to be a push block to get into a staircase, as jkoper picks up the Triforce, both runners with a Triforce out of level 2.
You know, that gel HP is kind of ugly. Just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Anytime, like, certain enemies, if they roll high, it's not terrible. Like, honestly, the blue Wizrobes, the blue Garias, anything that already has a lot of health, if it rolls high, okay, it's just 1 or 2 extra hits.
Hey!
Hi, Dig Dogger.
And he's blocking some rooms. He's blocking at least 1 room.
Yeah, that's,
He's blocking more than just 1 room.
Yeah, he's blocking a whole slew of them. But we know the ladder's not going to be back there now. As
It still could be in this level 8.
it very well could be, but if it is in this level 8, it will not be in those rooms specifically.
Don't you like double digs of a dungeon?
I like quadruple digs of a dungeon. Don't ask me how to do that in Z1, but I like it.
Very well could be a possibility. Hi, Feasel. Bye, Feasel. He put some hardware on this table.
Yes.
This is what they're fighting for here in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament. These lovely little trophies.
And our belief, as far as we know, is that they have real metal.
Yes, they do. They're nice and heavy. More heavier than the magical sword.
You have 14 hearts?
Let me check. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Fred finds a reverse C room. This has a possibility of being a staircase room.
Now, because of shapes, certain rooms that normally would either have to be a stair or a drop, such as reverse C, they can just be nothing. In this case, it is not. It is a stair.
Is this a transport staircase, or is this an item? It is the item. And I'd say that's a pretty decent item, as we find Spectacle Rock holding level 6.
So with level 6 found at Vanilla 9, somebody just flipped the number over.
Ooh! Bombs are 1 rupee.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. If anyone does, please let me know so that we can ask them why.
You're gonna have to teach them the words of the reasons why.
Yes. So we have level 1 and 2 swapped in the seed, as well as level 6 upside down in the level 9, as well as level 9 upside down. I like the way the seed is shaping up.
Plus that dig dagger still could have something.
Yes, it could.
Fires do not go down in a bomb. And the red bombs, or the red keys that come afterwards, do not go down in a single wood sword hit either. These are evil keys.
I think that the game wants us to have a white sword. Now, Fred will not nearly have as much a problem with that because he does have the wand, so he can just wand destroy everything.
Absolutely. Just the fact that you have lost a resource for bombs. Don't forget, in shapes, you have to kill this room. Maybe potentially the Triforce will spawn in this room, and hey, there's a Goma.
Oh. Well, that can change the chain reaction. Now we can have bow leads to ladder, leads to recorder, leads to Triforces.
It could lead to disgusting.
There are multiple options for this seed to be absolutely terrible right now, and it's looking like all of them.
I better call the train company up and tell them I'm going to be late for the train at this point in time. We could be here for a while.
Well, once we get that recorder, you can probably just use that, I would guess. It looks kind of like a train's whistle-ish.
No, you're right.
Some would also say it looks like a breadstick.
We know this is not going to be a push-block staircase, as Fred clears it out anyways. jkoper going to purchase some more cheap bombs.
And that is one of the very few rooms that has a push block in the center row that will never have a stair.
Absolutely. That's the room you see in level 2 in second quest.
Yep. It's the first one you see, and it normally contains a key drop after killing 5 Gibdos.
Let's find out where this Triforce is in level 8.
I'm going to guess it's Dig Dogger blocked.
I'm going to guess that too. Huzzah!
It's Dig Dogger blocked. Yay! Ish.
Fred is still going to try to figure out where this second item of level 8 is because, you know, for all he knows, this could very well be the ladder and he doesn't want to leave here without it.
Well, this could be it right here.
No, that was where the wand was.
That's right. I'm getting my staircases confused. Sorry. Watching multiple people. Anyway. So, jkoper has found the Triforce in level 6.
That's a nice Triforce find for him.
Absolutely. I don't recall him picking up an item, though. I wonder if he will make the same gamble he made last time and leave that item in 6. And we're ladder blocked out of the second item in 8 no matter what now.
Well, he's going to pick up some more bombs at the very, very least. Get his arsenal up to 8.
You would be hard-pressed to find a way to make bombs not have any monetary value in this seed. He's going to go back into level 6. Perhaps changing up his, perhaps not willing to gamble after the last seed's results. And that is something you do sometimes see is in best of 3 series is if they're played back-to-back, the runners will change their strategy up from race to race, saying, okay, well, maybe I should focus a little bit more on this because this is where I lost some time last race, or vice versa.
Yeah, and of course the fact that he's now on his last potential stand in this tournament, he loses this match, he's out of the tournament, so maybe he's got to correct what happened to him in the last race.
You'll notice something particular about the way jkoper placed that bomb. He placed it so that he would get the wall and the Dark Nun at the same time.
Yeah, that's a very, very good presence of mind right there to figure out where the bomb was going to hit and also make sure that it does damage to the enemies, because you don't want to wind up using extra resources here in a level 6. Now, if only jkoper had some sort of reading material that let him know where the layout to this level 6 was.
The map exists as a drop somewhere in the... Oh, you mean the other reading material?
Yep, correct.
He's going to leave. Probably just go buy more bombs.
Back to the bomb shop. Let's go buy some more bombs.
jkoper could, in theory, just stick around forever in the 6 because he can just refill on his bombs whenever he wants.
Yeah, but the more time he does this, the more time he's going to sink, and he's walking away. He's cashing in his chips. He's leaving.
I can't say I blame him.
And
hello.
level 9 is power bracelet blocked.
Okay.
So, big news there for Fred right there, but, I mean, both runners do have the power bracelet. It's not an advantage for either of these runners.
Now,
Just the knowledge advantage right there for Fred. So, we have found all but 2 of our levels, 5 and 7.
And also of note...
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's right next to level 4.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, level 4 is level 4. The level 4 might be disgusting, but it's a very easy whistle to get to 9. And I did miss which screen level 8 was on as I was watching Fred handle that room.
Yeah, we've already seen level 8 from Fred. It's up on Death Mountain. It's towards that northwest corner of Death Mountain. Not deep on Death Mountain, I think. Second row down, 4 up, or 4 in.
That sounds about right. Fred is up to 5 hearts.
Yeah, he found the heart container off the Dodongo here. It does say no to trying to tackle him, trying to take care of these Lionels. That one is going to help him out with that as jkoper tries to explore this level 8. Little does he know that he can't pull the Triforce out of here just yet.
And what I think is interesting is this has been a very low health seed so far.
Yeah, we're 26 minutes in, and we have 1 heart container found for jkoper and 2 heart containers found for jkoper. And there is the transport staircase to 1 whole room for Fred. We saw that earlier. There's the wand pickup for jkoper, so that's going to boost up his offensive output. And there's the Triforce for Fred. He's going to pick that up. Is he going to stay inside this level 4?
I think he is. It's small enough. It's close enough. He's got no reason to leave it right now.
Goes back in. And knowing the layout to this level 4, that may play around with his decision. Now all he's looking for is a staircase. He knows it's not this room because of the shutter door.
And he's probably very happy it's not that room.
Oh, yeah. He's happy that there's a shutter door that tells him immediately that it is not that room.
That is one thing to keep in mind, is that because the items can never... Oh, this room.
Oh, yes, this room.
I remember talking a little bit about this room.
This room is nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. jkoper finding the compass to level 8.
And the red wizards rolled high.
Of course they rolled high.
Please be surprised if they rolled high, because I am not.
I can't tell on your voice if you're happy for this or not.
As somebody who enjoys wizards and dungeons, I actually am kind of happy that they rolled up a little bit.
And Fred tries to do the reload the room to see who is the primary enemy and see if he can't get rid of the blue wizrobe and find some red Lionels. They're not that difficult to deal with when you have the wand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice primary there. The red Lionel turns out to be the primary. Pushes as a block, and there it is. That is the item of level 4.
It's the red ring.
Another combat room that leads to an item. The red ring in this case.
You know, much like last seed,
Yeah, the Patrick guarded it in the last seed between these two, and now it is guarded by some Wizrobes and Lionels. Oh my.
I'm getting a message from the game that you have to earn your combat in the seeds. You have to earn it.
You're not always going to find it in the middle of the room after you decide to kill a room filled with Lionels and then go into the next room that has 3 keys, and there it is.
Also, shoutouts to Fred getting a candle at 29 minutes.
What's a candle?
It's that thing that you use to light up your house at night and occasionally release nice, fresh scents throughout your home so that it doesn't smell terrible.
Ah.
Yeah, it's one of those. Also conveniently burns wood.
jkoper, because of the fact that he has not pulled out the book, is going to try to bomb that wall, only to find out he can't get there from here.
But because he can't walk there due to that dig dogger, he doesn't necessarily know yet this level 8 is segmented unless he's been in both transports.
jkoper being patient here with the likes, wanting to make sure that he doesn't take the death here, down to a 1/2 of a heart as Friday makes his way over towards the vanilla level 2 area, where he's going to find level 1.
And now he has wand, he has wood sword. He will be able to do the combat in this dungeon to try to find his lovely stair item.
So now as he goes through this level 1, and then over here to the right, remember the fact that we've already pulled out the power bracelet. That was the floor item in this level 1. There's going to be one inside of a staircase, and we'll also see the boss heart somewhere as well, perhaps.
And it looks like based on the fact that jkoper is taking this stair and he has been to the segments of 8, he is now aware that 8 is segmented. He's not quite yet aware of the Goma block, though.
More Wizrobes inside of level 1 on top of the Lionels. And there is the key of no significant value here for Fred since he has the any key.
I'm pretty sure that key is worth 72 rupees.
Have you ever tried to sell a key back to the shop?
Well, what is he going to do with it? He is not dungeoning.
Good point.
He would just sell it back. He would take it for 20 bucks and then sell it back for 72.
Fred opting to take away the rupee penalty here, which is surprising. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to deal with that room with the Lionels again, the blue Lionels.
Very possible. It could also be that he already has a candle. He has red ring. Outside of maybe wooden arrows, there isn't a whole lot left for him to need to buy in the seed, and I believe he's already bought those too.
So we find the boss heart container of level 1 as he tries now to find a staircase. He also still has to find the Triforce of level 1, but Fred knows that the Triforce cannot be in that room. He also knows that the item cannot be in that room, and that's a disgusting room to come out on too from the right-hand side.
Yes, this is one of the quirky rooms in the randomizer logic. That could be a Triforce room. But that useless moat room, as it's known, is a quirk in the randomizer logic where, technically speaking, the game can have you go through that room without anything more than 3 hearts, depending on, I want to say, the enemies and whatnot. But if you have the one-hit KO flag on, that room will never be required to go through without a ladder because it would make a seed impossible.
Fred picking up the heart container here in level 1.
jkoper back into level 8. Probably is just going to get some bombs here and then continue his exploration, as this is a good place to farm bombs with this triple Dodongo room.
So very, very helpful for the fact that he's got 1 bomb as Fred clears out that room, finds out that it's a drop room. However, thankfully for him, it's not the Triforce.
Perhaps unthankfully, though, because if this room is not... Okay.
There it is.
He got bailed out of having to do that blue Wizrobe room. Very important. And he's probably breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief seeing that.
Absolutely. He is done with level 1, gets the Triforce out of there. That gives him a 3-2 Triforce lead as jkoper thinking about his options. looking over and now has decided to spend 99 rupees on some arrows.
And given the money in the seed, given what he's seen, absolutely a good idea to go ahead and get that.
Now finds the white sword item, the magical boomerang, and he has decided not to pick that up. As Fred, continuing on his search here in the northeast corner, has found a community hint. Also found nothing inside of the Lost Hills spots there, so that takes care of our our power braces spots. Only one led to a dungeon, and it's a dungeon that we still can't get into until we have 8 pieces of the Triforce.
Silvers could be in there, though.
It can be.
However, something to note is the reason silvers are actually slightly more likely than the normal, like, 2 in 15 or 2 in 23 chance, depending on if you have Heart Shuffle on, is with these flags, important items cannot be in level 9. And the important items are considered the bow, the raft, the ladder, the power bracelet, and the recorder. Everything else is fair game.
jkoper making his way to where the candle shop was. He will purchase his candle for now 79 rupees down. So candle rolled up plus 19. The arrows rolled up plus 19.
That meat didn't.
Where's the seed playing nice?
Well, it gave, well, the large secret rolled up plus 16. The mid secret rolled up plus 15. No, it rolled up plus 10. Oh, hey, magical sword.
Yep, and that's something we're not going to be able to pull out here for another at least 3 minimum hearts, if not 7 more hearts. As Fred continues to explore, so does jkoper, still trying to find where our remaining levels are. We have yet to see level 5. We've yet to see level 7.
I find it interesting that the runners were able to get this far into the seed with no candle. It's a very candle-light seed.
But we still very well could find a level that is underneath the burnt bush, as Fred making his way over towards, I think, the Graveyard Armos.
Looks like he's diverting a little bit. Probably going to go to the loft. He's going to the blue ring shop.
He is going to the rare shop. Where the blue ring shop is currently in vanilla as he makes his way around the corner. He's going to be checking the burned bushes of the Lost Hills. Or the dead woods, rather.
Why are the woods dead?
I think it's because the leaves are changing like they do in fall.
It appears that Hyrule is suffering from Oracle of Season syndrome.
It works for me.
jkoper is now in level 4. He probably will dig his red ring out of here as he knows he's still looking for a ladder. He knows he's still looking for a recorder. He knows he's still looking for a bow, and he knows he's still looking for silver arrows. That's more than enough items to justify digging a level 4.
jkoper, without the map in hand, is bombing another spot that Fred knew was not a location because he had the atlas, the book.
And that kind of speaks to the value that can be gotten, even though, yes, it does make that fire come out of your wand, and yes, you can run into it. The value of the maps is, at least in my opinion, greater than that little bit of cost.
So Fred now burning this bush here, and we'll find that it turns out to be another door repair charge. jkoper finding the Triforce here in level 4.
He doesn't know this is a one-room segment yet.
Yes, he does not. And he is going to just up ante at this point.
And at 37 minutes, 40-something seconds in, Fred has found our first bonus cave of the seed.
That is weird.
Yeah, that's just... that seems wrong somehow.
Usually find them like within the first couple of minutes of the seed, but there's nothing that attaches those take any's to have to be readily available. For all we know, we can get a rare seed of them all being in underneath power bracelet spots.
That is very possible. The other thing to note about the candle is the game The game's logic never assumes you take a free candle out of a bonus cave or the wood sword cave. It always assumes you're going to buy your candle, so there must always be a candle shop underneath a bomb spot or in an open cave. Or under one of the other blocks. Basically, there can't be basically the candle can't only be blocked by candles. The candle shops can't only be blocked by candle. I can word good, trust me.
Don't worry, I've been going throughout these first 2 games and not wording well myself, so I know that feeling. It is this room, the room that jkoper longs for.
He does now have the combat to handle it, but he is a little bit low on health. So he's going to do the respawn manipulation, which is definitely the way to go about doing this room. And look at that.
And it's both Lionels here. We knew the Lionel was the primary, but it is the 2 Lionels in the order of operations. And there is the red ring for jkoper, as Fred was making a decision. Do I pick up the heart container or do I pick up the potion? He has chosen to go with the heart container to put him at 9.
He may be thinking about a magical sword play, given how many enemies in the seed have rolled high.
We have found level 5. It is at the Vanilla Coast Heart Shop, or Coast Take Any.
And that leaves us 1 dungeon left, which once again is level 7.
Yeah, 7, just like it was in the game 1 between these 2. There's the map for Fred. He does not need it. He is blocked away from getting into 2 of these rooms at this point without the ladder. But we still have several items that are very important to the seed that we have yet to see.
And I don't think I'd go... Well, I don't think I'd go worrying about those 2 rooms yet, but yes, we have bow, not found. Silver arrows, not found. Ladder, not found. Raft, not found. Potentially required.
Well, there's that answer. We have found the ladder in level 5.
Fred now has access to the Triforce and second item in level 8.
He also has access to the recorder.
He has access to level 3. Because we saw that there was that immediate Chevy room in level 3. The runners have not been able to get back in there yet.
Absolutely. So this is a good find for Fred, but jkoper is just behind him.
I find it interesting how throughout this whole series, even with the route divergences, they end up coming to the same location at the same time with that one key item that's going to open the seat up.
Fred trying to bomb his way around, trying to figure out where the Triforce is in this level 5. Doesn't need that room drop. He's got a whole bunch of keys to his disposal at this point. As jkoper now in the room that contains the ladder.
He'll probably be just as happy as Fred was to see that.
And with good measure, there is the Triforce for Fred.
Not actually Gliok blocked. Very important.
Just semi-Gliok blocked.
Yes.
Like you just had to dance around with a Gliok and then take his treasure. So we're just looking for level 7. That's the only level on our table that we've yet to find. Maybe it's here along the coast area. There's our Bay block.
I'm going to predict, as we find the transport stair in level 5, level
There
7 is there.
is 7.
The chain reaction has died. You will be able to make your train today. Or tomorrow.
We haven't found the bow yet.
You have a better shot at making your train.
We haven't found our bow yet.
You have a better shot at it.
We haven't found our silvers yet.
Those don't exist. If the silvers existed, I mean, they would, but the game has shown us that they don't exist outside of 9.
What haven't we seen so far? We haven't seen the items in 3, or the item in 3. We haven't seen the item in 6 or 7, so that's where the possibility of where the bow can be. The silver's a different story. They can be in level 9. As you will mention to me in just a moment, I am forgetting something.
The second item in level 8, that
Thank
is
you.
quarter blocked.
Thank you.
I think I could just tell that was coming.
Thank you. I knew you were taking that setup properly here as jkoper picks up his Triforce out of level 5. And we are still even in a very evenly matched series between these two. for the right to play Jam Eviler and the championship.
I would even say jkoper is a slight bit ahead now, simply on the grounds that he has to go back to level 1 to get the Triforce, which is generally a smaller dungeon than level 6.
Absolutely.
And these maps have been early enough that the book maps have not had as much of an impact as we might have expected.
See some face-taking strats here for Fred.
That is the best way to tank enemies, is just tank with your face with a red ring. Don't try it without. Do not try it without. You will die. A lot.
Let me write that down. Do
Yeah.
not tank without red ring. I need some help.
Yeah, you know what?
That's wrong with my game plan.
Hey, see, I should follow my own advice, because I do the same thing. Just face tank everything. Oh, I don't have a red ring. Well, I guess I'm dying now.
Yep. Hi, Wizrobes.
That's why we refer to them as Uncle Wizzy.
I'd refer to them something else, but I don't think that's family-friendly language here on SpeedGaming.
We have both runners in 7. jkoper's just a couple steps behind Fred for now. I'm curious as to if one of them will go to 3 before going back to 8.
I don't see why not. I mean, 3 is a smaller dungeon at this point in time, and don't forget we saw Goma in what could be a staircase room.
That is fair. For all we know, we're still Goma blocked from our silvers, because rafts can't be required at this point, and they could be in level 8. Is that... However, I think that might be a gamble you're willing to make if the seed goes long and neither runner is entering 9 before an hour-ish. That might be a gamble the runners will make, is exactly that Goma.
Now the fun part here is you never know what can happen. We know that if there's an item in this staircase, it can't be the bow, but it is a transport staircase.
Yes, that is something funny about the diamond stairs. Because the block clips that you've been seeing are not assumed to be done, Oh, interesting. That part is siphoned off. You have to take the stair to get in there.
Maybe the Triforce is behind it. Maybe the second item is behind it.
Watch it be a doubled corridor stair.
Well, we know the Triforce isn't.
Fred has to be a little careful to not get knocked into the Triforce here if he wants to keep exploring this dungeon, which it looks like he does.
Remember what happened to him in game number 1. He found the item in level 7 that helped deduce him that the fact that that was close to being grabbed by the Wallmaster. But he was able to grab the information that the silvers were at 9. And that is a very cheap bomb upgrade at 87 rupees, but it's +2.
It's still cheaper than vanilla, so it's still worth something, and just being realistic here, if you are given a bomb upgrade and you can afford it, you'll probably pick it up.
I think we're down to the idea that we do have to go into those 2 rooms in order to get to the item, although Fred looks like he may be looking at his map. He may have found a different thing, a possibility of it not being in this direction, as jkoper is heading his way over towards the spiral staircase section of the bottom left quarter of level 7. New territory for us.
The question is, what will come of it? Well, the heart container.
There's the other staircase.
So it looks like that section was just there to house the heart and the key. We find the boomerang.
Wooden boomerang, at least it's information here, so Fred's not going to get that the 10th heart to his arsenal at this point in time. He will grab this Triforce and get on out of here.
And here we have a very different situation to what we had in the first seed. In the first seed, a lot of our good items were found later on as they were looking for those silver arrows. Here, there is a 25% chance of any given item that they find being the bow, but there's not a whole lot of very valuable items left that it can be besides that, with the exception of the silvers.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the seed right now. We have 5 items still yet to be found. The item in 3, the item in 6, the item in 8, and the 2 in 9. Let's remove the items in level 9. We know that the raft and the bow have to be amongst the items in 3, 6, or 8. We have yet to find any indication whether or not that Goma in level 8 is going to lead to the other staircase. There's still a lot of room still to explore in that level 8. Of course, we've yet to find the bow. That very well could be in level 3.
Which it looks like that's where Fred's headed now. He did pick his recorder up off the coast.
So we're now at that position here where there's a 66% chance that silvers are in 9.
And this time, unlike last seed where they have the benefit of digging a level 7, which is generally a little bit smaller, 6 tends to be pretty big.
Absolutely. So level 3 is the first destination here for Fred. Says hello to the Dark Nuts.
Besides, he wants to kill them.
And I'm surprised he's going to go ahead and do this, but he's going to clear this out, see if this is a drop room. Very well could be the Triforce. I would have expected him to at least maybe come to the conclusion that the Triforce could be here or something, but it turns out to be absolutely no drop at all. As jkoper makes his way into level 1, we have the item in level 3. It is the bow.
So now that Goma room in level 8 opens up, as we're still sitting on that 66% chance of silvers in level 9. The runners likely know that just by sheer process of elimination and knowing the flags. I am going to expect Fred will gamble on level 6. He may dig out that bottom portion of level 8 that was Dig Dogger blocked on the way to getting his Triforce, but I don't think he necessarily goes back for that Goma room just yet.
Well, here's the thing. If you dig level 8, you pull out the item, and it's not the raft, you know by conclusion that the raft is in level 6.
This is true, but if it is the raft, you're left in the same boat you were before.
Well, right. You're hoping to see anything but the raft when you make your next level dig.
Agreed. Especially because we now know the raft is going to lead to nothingness except maybe more bonus caves because you've only seen 2.
Oh, shoot. There's the Triforce.
And that is a room you need to come into with either bombs, or you need to do a lot of spawn manipulation to get that Triforce. Neither of which are necessarily the fastest option on the planet.
So for those just tuning in here, this is game number 2 of the semifinals in the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament here at SG Live. Winner moves on to face Jam Eviler in the championship to win the winner's share of just over $1,400 up for grabs in this tournament.
I'm not quite sure what Fred's looking for here, because I seem to recall he's seen all of the levels. Unless he's looking for more hearts for Magical Sword, maybe even was just looking for a potion shop.
That very well could be the possibility. And there he tries to wield the Magical Sword. It is not grabbable at 11 hearts.
Hearts was probably what he was looking for then.
Absolutely, just trying to conclude, because we haven't seen all the take-anys.
And I'm starting to think at least one of them is going to be raft blocked at this point.
I almost have to believe that it is at this point, as jkoper is going to say no to the heart container in level 1.
He does have Red Ring. It looks to me, based on his heart count, he's not particularly concerned about having Magical Sword at any point. So it makes sense that he is going to go ahead and skip that heart. Now, there is another item out there that the runners probably would like to have.
Fred hasn't found level 6 yet. That's why he's checking these spots.
Ah. Well, he will find it soon.
Yeah, he will find it soon, but that's why he's checking these spots right now. Because he's yet to make it over to Spectacle Rock, where level 9 or level 6 turned out to be.
And that makes sense. Conveniently enough, that's also where the 1 rupee bomb shop is.
Yeah, just to the left of that here, and Fred with the bomb upgrade that puts him at a max 10 bombs. There's level 6 for Fred, and ooh.
I think Fred will get the Triforce and run. Given the size of it, he will get the Triforce and bounce. But there is one item out there that the runners probably would like to see. That is the white sword.
I thought they wanted to see the silver arrows.
Well, they do want to see that, but failing the silver arrows, the white sword would be the next best bet.
Absolutely. So, jkoper's inside of this level 3. Did not pull out the map, or rather pull out the book, so he's doing this blindly, trying to figure out where this level 3 wants him to go. There's the Triforce for Fred. He is going to dig a few more rooms.
That to me makes sense. If you find the Triforce, digging a couple rooms around it, yeah, do that. I've been burned by that before, so I've changed my tune on it. Plus, he's not in Triforcing Go mode yet. However, I don't think he's gonna go back in and look for more items in there, as that level is just
gone.
Yeah,
he is gone, and now he's gonna go ahead, make his way back over towards level 8, which is on Death Mountain. He has not pulled out the Triforce there, so he can't fluke back there. And I wouldn't be surprised if at this point, because he's got to dig all the way over towards the far right corner of the upper segment of level 8, he's going to at least try to see if he can't yield out that item. Once again, if the item in level 8 is not the raft, then it is guaranteed raft is in level 6. And if that item in level 8 is not the silver arrows, but also not the raft, then we know that the silver arrows are going to be, once again, just like it was in Game 1, in level 9.
So we just have a nested if statement right here of what the silver arrows are going to be, and it ends with silvers are in level 9.
I'll put a big if statement right here.
If is a good word. Fred is going to be using his arrows to help clear this dungeon out a little more quickly. Hi, Goma. Bye, Goma.
Don't forget, Fred picked up the arrows earlier. If that Goma on that bottom segment does have the staircase,
that could end up turning the tide of this whole seed.
Well, don't forget, jkoper also purchased the arrows as well, so we're not 100% certain. I mean, this could make or break the match depending on who decides to search out this level 8, as jkoper whistles back to level 6, and this is only for the purpose of transporting himself back to level 8. This is another close match. This is going to come down just like race number 1 did, where both runners could very well be in 9 within seconds of each other.
But the question will remain.
There's the other bomb upgrade.
Fred's going to buy it. Makes sense. But then the question will still be going in the runners' heads. If they go in without the silver arrows in 9, did I make the right call? And did my opponent do the same thing?
And you also got to remember, Fred is playing with a little house money at this point because of the fact that he's one up on this series.
jkoper's spending... jkoper might be going right back to that Goma room.
Well, also don't forget he doesn't have the map out of this level here, and Fred's going to pick up this Triforce right now. What does Fred do?
jkoper did not go to the Goma room. He was taking the other transports there to get him back towards that Triforce.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are right. That was a faster route to get there. Fred is going back into level 8.
He might be going for that Goma room down at the bottom because he didn't check the rooms that are by the Triforce.
He might be in a hard thought at this point that could be the answer to his problems right now. He's going to take a look at his notes, take a look at his mini map, try to figure out where he needs to go to get to the other side. He may very well think that the Goma is the play of the game.
And it very well could be. If it's anything but raft, he either has silvers or knows where silvers are. Well, he's checking these 2 rooms down here at the bottom that were ladder blocked.
That is right.
As jkoper is checking the portion of 8 that Fred left behind getting that Triforce.
And there's the map right there. So the map was ladder blocked.
And the item is not up in this portion of level 8. That shutter door confirms it. It is just a key drop.
I think that almost confirms that Goma, at this point, we are talking about that Goma. That Goma may have that second item of this level.
And if that Goma has the silver arrows, this whole race just got turned on its head. I believe this was the wand. Nope, this was the transport.
It was the transport staircase. So many staircases in this level 8. There's Fred going to the other side of this level 8 once again. If this is the raft, then there's still the possibility that the silvers could be in level 6. as he takes 2 hits to this Goma, needs 1 more hit to this Goma to take him down, then he'll be able to push this staircase.
And
it is the staircase. It is the other item.
jkoper's
leaving level 8, and it's the red candle. The Rap's in 6, the Silvers are in 9.
And jkoper is in the same situation he was before. He is currently gambling on that 66% chance of Silvers in 9. The question...
jkoper ended up accidentally going back into level 4 before realizing, oh wait, I need to go to level 9. They're both going into level 9 at the same time, but Fred's going to go ahead and take the health before he goes in. White sword, the other item in this level 9.
If jkoper gets the white sword first, if we have the same situation as last seed, also, map, level 9's lower right portion is a solid block of rooms. That's kind of unusual to see, that few holes in a level 9.
That is a very, very big level 9. We're looking at what I believe is, if I'm correctly adding this up, 57 rooms. Staircase number 1.
That's the same number that I get doing the math, and also of note,
no and no for both of these runners.
57 rooms is the vanilla number of rooms in 9.
There is a Dig Dugger where Fred comes out. There is a Moldorm where jkoper comes out. Fred needs to win this to move to the championship game. jkoper needs to win this to stay alive in this and force a game 3.
And the one thing I do like that we're seeing is both runners have gone completely different ways in 9.
Yeah. And this is something that's going to be fun. I mean, who knows who's going to find the item first? And again, we could find all 6 pairs of staircases first. We could find, for all we know, we could find the white sword to be the first item that we pull out of this dungeon. Beautiful bombing right there by Fred, not only stunning 2 dead dongos, but also bombing that wall open. So effective bombing here. Staircase number 2 for Fred.
And here's the other thing that we know. We know that level 9 is not going to have an extra set of stairs because there's no segment to 9. So the runners will expect 6 sets of transports. And even though jkoper doesn't have the map, the chances of a segmented 9 are so low statistically, you assume that it is not segmented until you get a map.
Yeah, level 9 is very, very rarely that it does actually become segmented. jkoper has done 16 rooms of exploration so far in this level, and Fred has found the silver arrows.
Just an absolute, very quick.
And it's in the very top left corner.
That's going to take a while for jkoper to get into, although he is taking the right stair. I believe that is the stair that Fred took to get up to that upper left corner.
Yeah, he's going to take care of this Dig Dogger first. Fred, waiting to hear the roar of Ganon, has not heard it just yet. We didn't hear it on jkoper's end either. Based on the way that Fred's moving around, I don't think he's heard any roar on that top left corner either.
Furthermore, because we have not seen the single shutter door that does not open yet, we have not found the location of Zelda.
Now, this is a new room that we did not see from Fred. I don't think. Because the staircase that Fred took, there's the white sword for jkoper.
And once again, jkoper has to decide between leaving 9, knowing that there's now a 50% chance that silvers are in here, versus stay at 9, try to find your silvers.
And
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the problem for jkoper is where does he go if the silvers are not here? It's possible it's either level 6, which we know has the raft by elimination, or level 8, which we saw from Fred had the red candle.
The way I see it, if you're jkoper, you saw that Goma room in 8, you know where that room is, you know exactly how to get to it. You go to 8 first, you check that Goma room first, because that can be a stair. If that fails you, then you go to 6 as a last resort, assuming you have not found Ganon and Zelda, which we do see a compass.
Yes, and it's not so far away from where Fred turns out to be.
But Fred currently doesn't have a path to get there. I believe he's right below Zelda's room right now.
Yep, It could very well be in that room that's just to the north of that or to the left of that staircase, the first staircase we had seen on that left go from the start. So Fred in the driver's seat at this point, and I hear the roar of the Ganon, so that means Fred's going to be hearing it real soon. He's in the bottom left area, but Fred's going to walk away from this. Maybe he might hear from this room here. Well, does Fred go to the right? Does Fred go to the left? He's going to go to the left, and the room doesn't turn dark, so he's in the very, very bottom left corner.
But here's the thing about it. Fred and jkoper are now in the same area. jkoper has found the path to Ganon.
Oh, Fred may have heard the roar coming in here as well. I don't know. He's trying to find out the way to get to Ganon. He can't bomb in from that direction, so I think Fred knows where he needs to go, but how to get there. And jkoper is leaving.
He's going back to 6 even. He knows about that Goma room, but he's opting to go to 6.
Fred can bomb around, and we know he can bomb to the south from what we saw from jkoper. So Fred will have the path to get to Ganon at this point. He does not know how to get to Zelda, though. He's going to have to be careful with his health because of 1.5 hearts. He takes 3 bombs by these Dark Nuts. He's dead. Make it 2.
Most importantly, he's now in Hyrule driver range.
Yeah, and I don't know if he has a potion in his arsenal. He does get a heart that's going to help. And now, 15 wood sword hits against Ganon. Oh, it's in the Chevy room too.
Man, this is not going to be an easy Ganon fight. Regardless of skill level, the Chevy room is one of the absolute toughest rooms to fight Ganon in.
3 hits on Ganon so far for Fred.
And I feel like that's the kind of thing you have to go for. You just have to pray that he spawns on that left side and just go from there. Tank the fireballs as much as you can, preferably without dying. He's got to watch out.
Oh, half a heart, and 1 more pop from him, fireball, and he's dying. Oh, look at this. So get him to the corner. He's gone maybe 6 hits on him. Oh, I thought it was going to get him. There's the raft for jkoper. Fred's got the stun lock.
Can he get the rest of it?
No!
Fred takes a death on Ganon. jkoper has found his raft in 6. He still is on a coin flip on if the silvers are in 9.
And unfortunately, going back to 6 means that he still has to worry about a level 8's item. As a reverse, he would have found the red candle, known that the raft was in 6, and knew that the silvers were the second item in level 9.
Fred still has time, but the longer he spends on Ganon, the more time jkoper has to make the comeback, the unexpected comeback, but the comeback happened. Because we were not expecting coming into this series that it was going to be, in both cases, leaving level 9 was going to be a deciding factor.
A gamble in 9, oh my goodness, yeah. So Fred's going to make his way back. Now the other problem is that he's going to have to deal with that blue Dark Nut room again leading into Ganon's fight there. So he's going to have to be extremely careful. Remember, a bop from a blue Dark Nut does 1/2 of a heart damage when he has the red ring. He is trying to kill these red Dark Nuts, or rather the blue Dark Nuts, because they are part of the health dropping group.
I don't think he kills the ones in this room, though.
No, he's not.
That would be a little too risky.
But he has to kill this room here. And if these are nice Dark Nuts, they're going to drop hearts. But unfortunately, he's in the wrong part of the global counter where he's getting rupees for the drop from them as opposed to hearts. There's a fairy drop. That is nice to see. 5.5 hearts for this second round against Ganon. Now Fred's going to have to calm himself down after that first death to Ganon.
But remember, with how close he got Ganon, he knows he just has to focus. He's got a stun lock so far.
3, 4, 5, and here's 6. We got 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. There is the stun lock on Ganon. But now Fred has got to figure out where she is. I think if he goes right back to that room to the left of the start, he is going to find her. And he is going in that direction. And that shutter door should open up. And there it does. And it is going to be Fred versus Jam in the championship. GG's to Fred.
Taking it with an official time of 1:08.05. And also of note, this is going to be a rematch from SGDQ earlier this year.
Oh, that is awesome. We are going to have a rematch between those two from their first match at SGDQ. So congratulations to Fred. He has now won this series 2-0.
And at the moment, Fred remains undefeated in this tournament.
Yes, he does. And as a result, he's going to be perhaps playing for one of these trophies. In fact, he's going to be perhaps playing for this bigger trophy a little bit later on.
Interesting that both seeds, in spite of how very different they were in packaging, came down to the very same decision.
Absolutely. The decision to leave level 9. And we see the finish here for jkoper. And we're going to go ahead and try to talk to these runners in just a few moments here. So stay tuned. We have more coming up in just a few moments. So we'll get these runners over here, and we're going to talk to them in just a moment here on Speed Gaming. want a different screen for that? And welcome back here to SG Live, and we've got both of our runners here. Over to my right, we have jkoper, and to my left, we have, well, Elsoa, but to his left, we got fcoughlin. So, GG to both of you guys. First, I'll talk to jkoper. What's your thoughts on this run?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I played really well in both seeds and made good decisions, but I finished not having the silvers in either race, so that's just not a good feeling. So I don't know. Pretty disappointed.
Unfortunately, in your case, it just came down to the fact that the silvers were in 9, and both times you found the opposite item, and you explored a little bit more than you ended up bailing.
Yeah, I mean, I found Ganon and Zelda and the first item both times, and I still had quite a bit of 9 left to explore, and it can take a long time. So I decided to check the other items. But I think Fred found everything both times, so that's no excuse on my part. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I don't know.
I think what you just have to chalk this is unfortunate luck.
I guess so. I'm not sure. It's hard to say without watching it back or something like that. But
I mean, both of you ended up entering level 9 at both the same time. I mean, it was within seconds of each other. So it was, I would just definitely talk this down to unfortunate luck. Also,
Yeah, I mean, the gambles that you made going into 9 were good ones to make. You gambled on 6, which is a large dungeon. You found the Triforce in 7, so it's like, okay, bail, go to 9. Those all made sense. And leaving 9 also made sense because you had everything there. It's just the luck wasn't there at the moment.
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I just feel like I spent a lot of time playing this game, like more than anyone basically, and I feel like I'm one of the best players. But every tournament I play in, best I've gotten is like tied for 7th or something, maybe tied for 5th once. I don't know, but so I don't know. I feel like I'm really letting myself down in these situations, but.
You are a fantastic player at this. This game, especially once you get up to that high level, comes down to a lot of luck. You had, especially from, again, what they're saying, you found Ganon, you found Zelda, you found one item. You made the right play statistically. You had a 2/3 chance that it was outside of 9 without anything else on the table. And as you said, you're exploring, 40 rooms at that point, which is even a little bit bigger probably than that level 6 was. So, going back to 7, which you probably cleared a decent amount of, you got 6, that was definitely the right play. You've shown constantly in these tournaments that you make it far, and when it gets to the top, it really just comes down to those coin flips. And, as I said, you're a fantastic player, and, looking forward to seeing more of it coming on here.
Yeah, I think the second one ended up being 50-50 because the raft was outside
raft, of
and
course.
still left.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I was really thinking about that. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's got to be outside of 9 yet. I was thinking about that in the first race. The fact that I had all of the items that couldn't be in 9 already.
Right.
But I mean, here it didn't matter because there were 2 locations outside of 9, so it was 50-50. And I mean, the math was still very similar anyway. So, but yeah, Fred and Jam are certainly very good players, and I'm sure they're gonna put on a great show again later this evening, or who knows when this is being restreamed and what the restream schedule might be. But for us, it's later this evening, so.
yeah, absolutely. We're going to try to get this on right after we're done with this here. We'll have that coming up in a little bit. First, we got SMW coming up soon here, as we've already got on our screen. Let's go ahead and talk to Fred here. One last thing I do want to say to jkoper is you definitely finished in 4th. You got yourself into the semifinalist position here, so you're definitely walking away a little bit of prize money for this. So GG and congratulations to you.
Yeah, thanks. It was hardly like a slugfest to get there or anything, We didn't quite have a huge turnout for this, but it's nice to come away with a little something, I guess.
Yeah, definitely taking away a little bit of the prize money of what is a 1,500 or rather a 1,400 prize pool is definitely nothing to sneeze at here. Let's go ahead and talk to Fred here really briefly. Congratulations on your win here. What did you think about your level of play here as you went through the early levels? You had really rough overworld on the first go around, and then in the second one you had, what was it, Lionel's and Wizrobes together. Oh my.
Oh, that was really nasty. On both of those seeds, I kept an eye out on I was keeping an eye on my money, because if I'd had enough money, I was probably actually considering buying a blue ring just to try to make sure I survived, especially on the first seed with the start where it was. It just was a bit of a nasty one, but, was able to find red ring. And fortunately, the items, chained together reasonably well to make it so we hopefully got to the end there.
Yes, I was. I'm not gonna lie. I was over here rooting for the 5-chain reaction seed in game 2.
He was trying to make us late for our train.
Clearly, that's what the motive was, because y'all needed to stay down here longer. But it was interesting that in both seeds, the money wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great in the first seed, and then in the second seed, it was like, here's 116, here's 40, here's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So we were thinking that before red ring had been found, the blue ring was going to be a lot more of an option in game 2, just because the money was a little bit better.
Yeah, and as I said, that was definitely on my mind in the blue one, especially seeing Wizrobes and stuff, combined with yet another tough enemy there in the dungeons. It was a tough one, but, got lucky. I found the red ring where I did and made that kind of a moot decision.
Now we move on to the finals. You play the person that you raised in SGDQ, Jam Eviler.
Jam is an incredible opponent. He has a knack just to feel the seed and make those right decisions, like, almost all the time. It's really hard to play against him. He has a very high level of combat. He's an incredibly tough player, so I'm just gonna play as best as I can, have some fun, and hope to try to even our overall record.
We'll see how it goes in the finals.
Absolutely.
Give it up for both of these runners, jkoper and fcoughlin. And we've got more here from SG Live in Herndon, Virginia, coming up in just a few moments here on Speed Gaming. All right.
Pretty sure I know Mev does the same, but he doesn't go for 4
Oh, I
guys
forgot
go
about that
around
one. Hi, welcome back to SG Live, and we're going to be going to the Super Mario World Finals very shortly as after this little test.
more game audio.
You should talk too.
Can you hear me? Hello, test.
I can
1
hear
2
you.
1 2.
Can he be a little should he be a little louder, or is he okay?
Test 1 2 1 2. Alrighty, how's that now?
That's a lot clearer.
Okay.
Yeah, like once this goes live across the internet, you need to be loud.
All right. I think it's on Mev sound. Currently. Game sound good for you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SpeedGaming Live. We are here today for the Super Mario World Finals between Lanxion and mevanstrom. I'm Mr. Cab, joined today, what is it, Dabs?
Yes, it is
It's
Dabs.
We just met at this event. This has been a great meeting up of speed gamers of all kinds. So let's, without further ado, introduce our runners. You have the info.
First, we have Lanxion, and then we also have a mevanstrom. I believe both runners here do have a 35, which is a very, very good time to have in this category. With no further ado, I believe we are ready to get started. Would you guys like a countdown?
Just readying our runners up.
All right, and we're off.
And we are off. This category that we are playing today, we're talking about 34s and 35s. This is the all castles category of the game. So our runners, their really only objective is to go through all 7 worlds, destroy all 7 castles, and of course defeat Bowser himself in his own castle. Like, you know, every other category of this game, we start out with Yoshi's Island 2.
Classic.
Just test out our runners here, make sure everybody's, you know, showing up for the game.
Making sure their controllers work right.
Yep. It really is the anticipation level of this where you just kind of, it's an introductory level of the game, but it immediately is going to be followed by Yoshi's Island 3, which is a much bigger challenge. So it's just sort of getting through here, testing out your nerves, making sure everything works, getting used to the environment.
Now you
making sure
can,
go ahead.
Now, you can actually get a 361 on this level. It only saves, I think, barely any time, but it actually is due to luck with the luck jump off those yellow blocks at the end. You do a neutral jump, and you can actually get a 361 on the timer. Doesn't really make for any difference in a run of 35 minutes, though.
Oh, it is like Super Mario World tradition almost to kind of look at that timer at the end of every stage, and with Mario's oscillating run speed, making sure you get that little extra tick on the timer every single time through. And this is Yoshi's Island 3. This is the level we were looking forward to. You saw the box jump very early in the level. There's just a lot of precise jumping going on here.
And now what they're trying to do actually is stay on those brown platforms for as long as they can, because what those brown platforms actually do is when you're staying on them for as long as you can, they actually push you forward to the level to give you a little bit extra frames, a couple frames throughout the level. You see Lanxion did actually get a 258 there. mevanstrom did get a 259, so he did stay on those brown platforms to actually get that extra in-game second.
mevanstrom just with that really slight lead here going into Yoshi's Island 4.
As you can tell, it's nothing too crazy.
Oh, it's definitely not. Yoshi's Island is always this sort of, it's almost the warm-up. Every category starts with it, but you are looking, you are paying attention, seeing what's going on. Nobody going for a shell jump. That would have been the first sort of differentiator here.
Both runners did actually stomp on that shell, though, so it does actually get rid of a few lag frames throughout the rest of the level.
Despawning everything we can.
Both runners with a 275. Now we're actually going to be heading into Iggy's Castle, which is also probably another one of the levels in this run where things actually start to get a little tricky.
Now, Iggy's Castle, you're right, it's a little tricky. We got to jump under a few of these Koopas on the fences. There's just lots of low...
That first jump right there, too, is very, very tricky, and that's actually why you stay small throughout the whole run up until this level.
They had 2 midway gates they could have gone through at this point to get up to be Super Mario, and they wait until this one just for those jumps. If you're not comfortable, you can always, get one of those early ones, not worry about tanking the hit on those Koopas. But this is the top tier of the tournament.
This is our first auto-scroller of the level. Is it the only one?
I think this is the only one. We're not going to the fabled Butter Bridge in this run. Or the Forest Fort.
Correct.
We're here for castles today.
Let's see what kind of kill they take on Iggy. Okay, both with the 2 fireballs each. There's a little bit of another different kill there. You can do a slide kill. Saves a few frames, nothing too crazy. But yeah, both runners end in there. Lanx with a nice 241, meaning he actually did probably get the fastest. Well, not the fastest, but very good Iggy.
Yep. Getting a little bit of that time back. Looks just by the location they are in the cutscene. Mev is a little ahead after World 1. Not too much. We are definitely looking to see what happens later on this run. We haven't even begun to see the tricks yet.
Yeah, we're actually going to be going into World 2 now, which we do finally pick up that cape.
Ooh. Don't lose cape.
Yes. And they're going to want to actually keep that Fire Flower, too, for the whole run up until Roy's Castle.
Pretty much, I think it's 3 Koopalings, besides just Iggy himself there, that we're going to want to have fireballs for to make the fight a little faster, a lot faster, and a little faster.
All right, so now what they're trying to do here, you probably won't be able to tell, but they're actually trying to get their flight speed. They're going to be tapping right on that D-pad to change their flight speed. Your flight speed can actually change from 47 to 51, 51 being the highest and the fastest. That's what they're going to be looking for in most cases. It is very hard to tell, yeah.
Just those little bits of time here and there. You hope that's not the difference, or maybe you hope it is the difference, because maybe you don't want to see everybody, you want to see everybody nail all the tricks. This is our water level.
First water level. Everyone loves water levels.
This one completely submerged, and we're going to go in this dry room here. If you get through this dry room almost perfectly, the big thing you're going for here is this Koopa shell. Getting that without any delay, and it looks like both runners managed to do that.
Very nice.
Mario swims significantly faster when he's carrying something, and Lanx lost his shell a little sooner than Mev did.
As you can tell, you go a lot slower in the water without an item in your hand, but they do pick up the P-switch halfway through. Continue with that nice item speed in the water.
You can go under that little platform there, get to the end. So despite everything, it's really only 2 ticks on the timer. There's probably just a couple of real-time seconds separating the two now.
Yep. Mev still with a little bit of a lead. Now we're entering our first ghost house as well. This ghost house has nothing too crazy about it. You're just going to fly through the first room, get to the door. Probably the only thing hard about this room is getting actually that door on the first try.
This is sort of the introductory ghost house, home of the fabled top secret area exit. A little trouble with the door. Door is the final boss.
Another final boss.
Ancient Super Mario World memes here. But they're still true. But that's going to bring us to Donut Plains 3. The big trick here is we're going to see them, I'm hoping we're going to see them go for fast fly.
Early, yep.
You can run to the left, build up some flight speed. It's not too slow. But you can save 1 or 2 seconds, go straight to the right, make a quick jump onto this platform.
Very nice from Mev, gets it first try.
There you go.
And same with Lanx.
Very nice.
And now what they're trying to do here, like I said before, they're trying to get that fast flight, hoping for that 51 lock to get through the level as fast as possible.
Usually you're just looking to see how fast are these coins really scrolling by on the screen. Is there any sort of distortion or anything else?
Still very hard to tell.
You're looking for that 263.
Very nice from Mev. Did get actually that insta-fast fly because he got a high 263 in the timer. Same with Lanxion. Very nice.
Very nice. So I think we're getting Yoshi now.
We are. We're heading into DP4, and we will be going ahead and grabbing Yoshi for a trick you'll be seeing later on in the run, about 2 levels after this one.
Do want to fly a little lower in this level. There's some clouds up there, some random para-Goombas later on, well, at least like the parachuting Goombas. But we're here for Yoshi. You just want to make sure you don't overfly him.
Very nice grab from mevanstrom.
Now with Yoshi, you can't just go ahead and tap left anymore, so you have to be a little careful. Neither runner really interested in getting that star out of the block. We want to go fast. So it's a little tricky here. Going under the hammer, brother. Very nice.
I see a lot of people do that, but I always think it's sketchy.
Lanx wants nothing to do with that route. Cannot blame him.
All right, so now we're going to be heading into Morton's Castle, where we can show off some really cool cape tech in Room 2.
If you ever watch the no cape categories, this is what you're missing out on.
He actually hit the little thwimp right there, so he wasn't able to actually get the quick P speed. Lanx did get it first try, so that will bring him a little bit closer now.
That is good. So here comes spin flying. So in the game's memory, there's this little thing. It's like a takeoff meter. And when you jump with P speed and a cape, that starts running out. And
Okay,
you have to wait again. And
as you can tell right there, mevanstrom actually ran into the spring a little bit too much there, so it actually killed his P meter, it seemed like right there.
he's not going to
Missing
take it the
that
rest of the
cycle,
way.
yeah. Not a bad choice to not take it at that point. Could be very in your way if you're not used to doing this way or not.
And Lanx there, you saw him switch to fire, hits Morton with 2 fireballs, and then 1 more stomp to finish the job. I think the Koopalings take either 11 fireballs, 3 stomps, or 2 fireballs and 1 stomp.
Yes.
Game logic.
So. Yeah.
Either way, that is a trick. It saves a handful of seconds. We're going to see that again with Roy. We're going to see it again with Ludwig. Definitely the reason we're not just getting that backup cape immediately through this category.
And then there goes Mevson cleaning up the rest of Castle 2 there. As you can tell, missing a cycle in Castle 2 can be very hurtful. There's still a lot that can go on in this run. All castles is one thing can go wrong and a lot of other things can just keep happening, but let's just see what we can have here coming up with wings.
Wings. We have a lot.
Very hard to explain.
Basically, inside the game's memory, I believe it comes down to certain items appear on certain horizontal tiles, if there's a tile there. And for whatever reason in this game, if you jump and throw a shell up at the exact right point in time, the game just sort of duplicates blocks. Doing that here and collecting that dragon coin just... Really, that's the best I can explain it. Weird things happen, and you get Yoshi wings. And
Lanx
Yoshi
happened
wings,
with
of course,
360.
end the level.
Yeah. So Lanx there got a 360. Not bad, especially in a tournament run. It's a very hard trick to actually execute. Mev going for the right side.
You do need to collect that coin before duplicating the wing block. You don't want to see the key block.
All right. Mev a little bit better success on his wings, though, getting it about 7 in-game seconds faster.
Very nice. Dabs now in the underwater section of Vanilla Dome 2. You see him kind of dropping the shell now and again and caping it just to make sure the Buzzy Beetle stays knocked out. Don't want it waking up while you're holding it. That's bad. That's how you lose a cape. Once you get underneath all this section, we're going to go for Sticky Fly.
Nice, and he does get it.
There you go. The trick describes itself. You just need to tap left kind of at the right moment of that dive, and Mario just sticks to the ceiling. Don't need to dodge everything else. The bats get out of your way.
Not really faster or slower, just swag.
It's definitely a lot safer, too,
It
though,
is 'cause
because
of
you
the
don't
bats.
deal with those bats.
Correct, yeah.
There's no gain in speed. It's just not needing to dodge. It's Lynx in the first room of this ghost house. There's a lot of bad things on the lower level of this ghost house. We don't want to see them.
Gonna be going for a little cape cancel here through this little boo ring. Oh, he goes right over it. Oh, there. Never mind.
There you go. Build P-Speed running right underneath these bubbles. Now, this is the first ghost house where you're required to get a P-switch in the game no matter what you do. Okay. Okay.
A little scary, but I think everything was fine there.
This is fine.
Yes. Got really slow off that. It was really weird, actually.
Yeah, sometimes the jump input just doesn't want to work for you. Fortunately, the cape, you just float down there. You're still holding the P-switch. That's all you need.
Now we got Mev going for it as well to grab this P-switch to get that blue door. Ooh, missed it.
So without P-Speed, it's a little bit of time lost having to run back over here. As Lank's now in Vanilla Dome 3, this level's a beast. And this, I feel like this is the level a lot of people like in all castles over your traditional No Star World run, because you show off a lot of tech in this level.
Very nice raft skip right there.
It is not trivial to build up P-Speed in the first half of this level and get that fly off the raft, bounce off, I believe those are the blargs that live in the lava. What is that jump?
That is that's a very cool strat, actually. You do a shell jump at the beginning, and then you hit the shell actually coming up from that little Koopaling throws up, and you get a quicker opening of Yoshi right there. We have Lanks going for the normal Yoshi skip, it looks like here. There's a bunch of different ways you can do a strat right there. You have normal Yoshi skip, which you just saw Lanks do, Blarg skip, and then there's also raft skip.
Flying there, I mean, that raft moves slow. You don't want to do it. Anything that gets you in the air faster is usually good. We do need to keep Yoshi, though. Kind of once again, there is a wings opportunity coming up. Specifically in this case, we're going to have... what is that? That's the Cheese Bridge.
Cheese Bridge area, isn't
it?
it?
It's been so long since I've had to name that level.
Cheese Bridge area, and you get the Yoshi wings halfway through with Yoshi. It saves a significant amount of time.
Significant?
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice from Mev as well, getting the Yoshi skip.
Does mean that you do have to go through Vanilla Dome 4 with Yoshi as well. There's some nice one-tile takeoff there. You do have to make sure you're landing at the right points in this level. You have to come in here with a plan, know where you're going to land, where you're going to keep going, where you're going to bounce off of Koopas.
Pretty much all scripted.
It is scripted, but execution in a tournament is key.
All right, so we're going to have Lanxion going ahead and entering Castle 3, which is Lemmy's Castle.
This castle, our first introduction to Magic Koopa.
He can be a pain.
Nobody likes him.
Yeah. It's pretty much all RNG, his movements, but you see, okay, he did actually go for the kill, which I would do that 100 times every time, probably. So
it's definitely the safest way to do it.
Because he can spawn pretty much anywhere in this area you see him now. Could spawn right in front of that door, too. It's all random.
That nice little trick there, you just let go of your run buttons as you spin fly over that P-switch. Mario will trigger the P-switch. You'll drop the spin jump so that you don't destroy the blocks as you land on them. It's just fast.
Nice neutral speed jump.
Of course, going through the midway room also just a little faster, a little safer than getting to the end of the level otherwise for this first room.
All right, he's going to be attempting a little skip here. And he does get it.
That's a little tricky. I actually had a ton of trouble with that
At
when I was
first.
playing this game with LCD. Anything that has input lag. So that's a tight jump. Cape of proving itself critical in this section for speed. You're seeing just flying upwards to save some cycles, hovering on that long jump before here we get to the Lemmy fight itself.
Now, these Lemmy spawns can be very mean sometimes, so that left spawn wasn't that bad. That's a good spawn right there as well. Let's hope for another good one. Not bad at all. Very nice fight.
Sometimes you're just in the wrong side of the room, that Podbo gets in the way, and Lemmy is just unhittable.
And missing a cycle, I think, is about 8 seconds or so, maybe something like that.
It's a decent number of seconds. Third hit, you're probably feeling a little safer about it. There is a cape at the very beginning of the next level, but certainly you don't want to lose your power-ups almost ever. 2 hits. Lynx is
very nice as
waiting
well.
on this
good fight.
Very nice.
And now we'll be going ahead and entering Cheesebridge area.
My favorite thing about this is that the speed strat matches the strategy guide from Mario Mania way back when in the early 90s. You just bring Yoshi, you run to the end of the bridge, and you jump.
And you hold it.
This is your traditional Mario speedrun strat of hold, run, hold right, and just hope for the best. And it happens to work here.
So you're going to see that they're going to hit a block. They're going to activate these wings here. And since they have Yoshi, they'll exit the level right away.
Nice, and we're going to keep Yoshi. We're going to need Yoshi really just in a few more levels. It's worth it to keep him. Blue Yoshi's pretty nice in its own right.
Especially for FY1 also. Could be a very tricky level. This level too, if you don't really know what you're doing in Cookie Mountain, could definitely go wrong. There's a lot of things, a lot of like random enemies in certain spots. If you drop in the wrong spot, you can just go ahead and get hit. Lose Yoshi. Not the worst thing to lose Yoshi at this spot, but it does lose some time.
Like you said, it's a little easier to get through Forest 1 with Yoshi. We need Yoshi for Forest 2 anyway, so you're just going to have to sit through that egg hatching animation if you lose Yoshi. There's a couple of other ways through this stage as well, where you can just... There is a turtle shell available, but it's a little bit slower than just running through. And if you're at this tier of runner, you're getting your 35s, don't bother. Just beat the stage.
Now you have Lanxion entering Ludwig's Castle, castle number 4. It's a pretty cool castle. You got a couple cape cancels early on in the beginning of room 1.
Oof.
Let's see what strategy goes for here.
The strange room where you run left.
Fly left.
Tap right. I don't
Very
like this
nice.
room. But yes, getting under those potaboos, again, not trivial. Very easy to kind of jump into one of them by accident, hold the fly button just a little too long. And Lanx is going to switch here early to fire. You can certainly jump up here with the cape, but a lot of runners will switch to fire just to make sure if you do get hit, you would rather keep the cape than keep the fire.
It's a very nice castle 4 from Lanxion. mevanstrom going through room 2 as well now.
Very nice.
I actually do a scroll in the beginning of that room just so those potobos are always out of the way. Does lose time, but I'll never get hit.
There's losing time, and there's losing time from damage. And,
Yes.
yes. Definitely.
Very nice. 255 red door from Mev. Very nice Ludwig Castle. That was very well done.
Ludwig fight, if you don't come in here with fire, that is, what, like about a 16-second time loss
It's
per
a
cycle?
lot because the cycle he has the, what is it, like the shell?
He runs around the room, he jumps. You can get like a kind of semi-cycle skip.
You can if you hit him midair.
Right. Fortunately, we didn't have to see that on stream today because we got the quick kill.
Still have fire, and they actually just need, hopefully they'll keep fire up until this next boss. Because that's
Very
when they won't
nice.
need it ever again.
Here's where blue Yoshi kind of pays off a little bit. That block there is where you could have picked up a green Yoshi. We've got the blue one from way back when. And with the shell, we just keep flying over the level because that's blue Yoshi's shtick.
But I think, let's see, yep,
Ooh.
he is going for wings here, Lanxion, on his screen. So this trick is insanely crazy. He did lose P-Speed. That's not the worst thing that could happen, though. So he actually needs to spin Yoshi. Can't
Whoops.
actually attempt it because he hit the block. So we're just going to continue on with the level and end the level right there.
That was a little scary because eating a Wiggler on Yoshi at speed will often get Mario hit even though he's riding Yoshi. So
It's very weird, the hitbox that works on the Wigglers and the interaction with Yoshi eating them.
yeah, especially with that green shell readily available there. It's very nice to use that clear runway. Fortunately, Lanx is through without too much of a time loss, just losing the time sort of going down there in the first place.
All right, so you see he did a little dismount there right in the beginning of the level. It's to manipulate his sub-pixel. This clip is very nice. Gets
Easy
it
every
first try.
time.
So that clip actually right there is a 75% chance of working and a 25% chance of it just kicking you out for no reason, even if you do everything right. So getting it first try there in a tournament run just like this is exactly what you're looking for.
Again, grabbing the ice block. There's a small chance there of accidentally coming back inbounds and just sort of ruining that effort of doing the clip in the first place.
Very nice from mevanstrom
Nice.
as well. Both get first try clip.
You
Very
ne-
well done.
You never want to see a race decided by that because that, like you were saying, there is a little bit of sub-pixel manipulation going on there. It's possible to be kind of stuck here forever. Everybody's done it in a race. Every SMW runner of old has like a run of theirs where they have that clip named after them because it took them like 15 tries, and getting through here on first try, beautiful.
Yes, very well done. Like I said, you can do everything right there, and the game will just not allow it. Or I should say Yoshi won't.
I think I saw Dirty Bubble.
Looking at Mev's screen, did not. I did not see.
Lanx just flying through this level. Forest 3, not a particularly difficult stage. It's kind of interesting in that there's really only those mushrooms and bubbles as a power-up. And, of course, the exit situation. The first time people play this game, very often they don't even think about going down this pipe, and you get kind of stuck in the Forest of Illusion loop. Of course, we all know by now that's where the secret exit is to actually leave and go to a castle. This is Roy's one.
You got Roy's castle here. Very tricky castle. A lot of cape tech involved. You're going to want to dodge these potobos right here. A lot of different ways, a lot of different strats people use. You're going to want to do a dive bomb. Very nice done by Lanxion. Gets through there.
A little low, that's fine. Definitely if you're worried
You
about
wanna
getting
make
to
it
the spike
across.
section,
Yeah.
yes. Just stop, take the breath, and go.
Little hiccup there for Lanx in the beginning, but very well recovered. Grabs a fire flower there. That's the last time he'll be using this fire flower.
Let's grab.
2 shots and a bounce on his head. Roy's done.
That's nice and safe. Little close to that first pot bow, actually, for Mev.
He is through. Everything's all good.
Hmm? Very nice.
70 door. Very nice.
Roy's Castle, definitely one of the bigger make-or-break levels in any category of this game that goes through Roy's Castle. If you take a bath in the lava, you're basically running back. You're hunting for a cape out of Forest 1.
All the way back at Forest
It's
1.
not fun.
Not fun. I've done it plenty of times.
And Roy's Castle kind of, it's a little bit of the beginning of a gauntlet.
Yep.
With cape, Chocolate 1, not too bad. But Chocolate Ghost House, Chocolate Secret, Wendy's Castle, a lot of not-so-fun levels kind of packed together here.
You have Lanxion entering Chocolate Island 1 now. He's going to be attempting a trick called Pipe Fly, where you keep your P meter going through a pipe, and when you get shot out the pipe, you actually go a little bit faster than you normally can. It's you have a 64 flight speed out of the pipe instead of what you normally could have out of a Cape Fly, which is a 51 flight speed.
Very nice.
So as you can tell, he is flying through this level very fast right now.
It's just a little time lost at the transition, but it's easily worth it. And
Going for the backup cape. Not a bad plan at all.
run back, grab the cape. Backup cape, never a bad idea in a race. That's what Link Dead always told me.
I think mevanstrom did happen to miss it there.
No, he's got it.
Wow. Very nice.
Just carrying an item through the goal, of course, gives you an item. In this case, gives you the cape, because that's what you've already got. Mev going to forsake the backup cape and try and make up some time.
Which also isn't the worst thing as well, as long as you don't get hit, because you grab your extra backup cape right at the beginning of Sunken Ghost Ship after Wendy's Castle.
Just got to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Link's flying all the way to the end there. A little risky.
Made it through the door.
You don't want to cape cancel through the fishing boo, and only to get hit because you're falling too slowly. Very nice boo bounce, though.
I got Mev attempting the flyover. And in this level, actually, there is a pipe hidden off the screen about halfway through the level, which you can hit, and it can actually mess up a lot of things.
Yeah, it's right. It's right after the power-up. If you're flying too high, it's very easy to bump into it, and your flight speed's basically done.
Yeah. They're actually going to be, so he sees Lanx here in Chocolate Island 2 now. He's going to be grabbing Yoshi. You want to actually keep this Yoshi now all the way up until Valley of Bowser 2. If you lose this Yoshi anywhere between there and pretty much then and now, instant minute time loss, I'd say.
Yep, it's easily worth it to come back and get that Yoshi pretty much no matter what over going through the maze of Valley of Bowser 2. This is, of course, also the level. Technically, they have to go fast here, but your time limit to get to that secret exit pipe is, what, like 250 on the timer?
Yeah.
Nothing too much to worry about, especially with this second room just being hold right and jump again. Chocolate Secret, though, is an interesting level.
Very interesting level. A lot of different strats also people use here. See Lanx. Very close left.
Just
football.
dodging the football.
Yeah.
When we said we were having this race on Sunday, that's not what we meant.
Maybe entering in room 2. Now he's going to want to do a little duck right there to kill those so he can actually keep a little bit of his P speed, run down that slope. Now he has full P meter right now, so he's actually dropping down this level as fast as you possibly can.
Just need to go back and forth a little bit
nice.
faster, a little faster than just holding down and sliding down the slope. Do the hold right and take off from here. There's a few ways to build up P-speed at the start of this stage. That's, of course, the fast one.
This room could be a little tricky as well with Yoshi. You have a bunch of chucks in front of you running around.
Another case of making sure you know where you're supposed to land and take off. That really steeply sloped platform as well. You don't want to land on those if at all possible. It's possible to kind of clip through them because the ground in this game decides it doesn't want to exist. Nice from Lanx. Mev needs to hold serve.
About halfway through room 3 now for Mev. But you do have Lanxion entering Wendy's castle, which is by far probably my favorite castle in this run.
Wendy's castle is torture.
That's great. I love it. So you're going to do a couple cape cancels here in the beginning. One on that saw, one right here on this saw, and then you're also going to go ahead and do a crusher skip. Cape cancel through that saw and get right under that crusher right there. Very nicely done by Lanx.
Crusher skip is a risky thing. It lets you one cycle that whole section, though, so it saves an awful lot of time. These spikes, of course, if you get impaled by them, you are dead.
Very nice room 1 from Lanxion. Don't think you want a P-speed there, but I think... Oh, okay, this is...
You wanted that because there's a vertical block coming up very soon. You want to try and sneak under, and he's not going to risk it.
I wouldn't risk it either. Good decision right there.
There's
a little bit of time for Mev to make up, though.
That is a lot of time Mev's getting back just for that alone. Let's see if Mev can get through this room. Not going for P-speed at all. Oh,
gets...
Okay.
Okay, very nice.
First hit on Wendy for Lanx.
I believe he told me he did do that. It looks like it worked out for him.
Lanx dropped the cycle. Barely caught the second one.
Right now. Wow. This race, very close.
Mev's going to lose the cape. That's fine. That's fine. There's a cape block, and honestly, at this point of the run...
all he wants to do is keep this fire right now. That's it.
Yeah, just keep the power.
Very nice.
Top-tier runners of this game at this point pretty much know how to get through these last few levels without a cape. There's no more fly over the top of the screen and tap left. So losing cape, not catastrophic. Like you were saying earlier, there's a backup cape at the beginning of this next stage, the sunken ghost ship anyway.
No time loss at all, just to grab it as well. So
Very nice.
So now they're going to be entering Sunken Ghost Ship, which is right before entering Valley Bowser. What they're going to want to do in Sunken Ghost Ship, now they're probably both going to be going for a Boo Ring despawn towards the end of Room 1, which requires certain spots where you have to dismount off the ceiling with Yoshi into a couple of boos, which you'll see right here shortly. But first, there is actually Room 1. That's in Room 2. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to be looking...
he has 2 capes, actually. Didn't notice that, so he doesn't have to actually go and grab that back up. He did grab that from Chocolate Island 1.
If you look at the pattern that these boos are going to kind of spawn in when they appear and disappear in like the giant cloud, there's kind of only 2 setups, and they always kind of start centered on you in the same place. And at the end of, not this one, but the next one, you're going to see towards the right side, there's these 2 boos right there next to that pillar that are kind of on top of each other. The next cycle of them, we're going to see at the end of this block. You're going to look for those 2, and where are they? That's a good position.
Looks pretty good, I think. I don't think he needs to scroll here.
Yeah, he might want to scroll anyway just to be safe, because that'll definitely get it. That was very close to the scrollless alignment, where you don't have to scroll at all, and that boo ring just disappears, because the boo ring, the boo cloud hasn't despawned yet, and the boo ring is what gets dropped from memory.
Scroll from mevanstrom as well.
Just being able to get through there. With Yoshi, it's not as important, because you could just kind of damage boost through anyway, but it's faster to not.
Alrighty, and they're falling down this room.
Nothing to do here but kill the Koopas. It's just a lot of lag here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Lanxion going ahead and grabbing his
Orb.
orb.
The original, except no imitations. And again,
Mev. Orb. Very nice. Both runners heading into Valley Bowser now. Not that much in between this race.
Yeah, the Morton drop is still kind of looming large here, but Wendy's Castle gave Mev a lot of time back, so Lex now gets to navigate Valley of Bowser 1. Similar to those Wigglers, these Mega Moles can damage Mario even on Yoshi, so you have to be a little careful as you eat them.
Janky hitboxes.
Oh,
okay, we're good.
It's all right.
That last one too is very, very scary sometimes.
That's the one that gets people, because it's very easy to get trapped between a couple of moles down there. There it is.
That's what it is.
He's going to wait and get that fire flower back for sure, but this kind of goes back to what I was saying. This level, you kind of need to know how to do it without a cape. Next stage does have a cape in it, but it takes time to grab.
Halfway through in room 1 or at the end of room 2. You can pretty much pick your choice at that point.
Yep.
But this is actually where you see Lanxion, Valley of Bowser 2, and this is where you keep Yoshi 2. Because you enter this pipe right here, going into room 2. Right there, hit that box, and you get your Yoshi wings, and the level is over. A lot faster than going through that sandbar.
I'm abandoning Yoshi here just to save some lag as we move along. Not having P-Speed because he went to get this cape, going to grab that rainbow shell. Fly over this level for free while Lanx handles the ghost house.
I think he went for door fly there, but he did have like a little wall clip, it looked like, at the end, getting into that door.
Kind of similar to pipe fly, just keeping P-Speed through it.
Ooh.
That'll do it. Didn't get through the fast way, but he did get through. That's what's important. Don't have to build up P-Speed fly up there again. Secret exit takes us directly to our 7th castle, Larry's.
Room 1 is pretty straightforward. Jump up, fly. Could be a little tricky
door
because
fly.
of those very...
Oh!
No.
That's why door fly is a risky trick. It pays off, and it's a lot of fun to watch it happen, but there is no ground, no room for error there.
Lanx in room 2, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest rooms in the game. Because you got Magic Koopa in there. This is your second time you see Magic Koopa in the run.
Yep.
And he can just pretty much spawn wherever he likes on that bridge. He can be in front of you, behind you, and just completely wreck your day.
Yep. And you don't want to take damage in that room. Not having cape and not having Magic Koopa means you're just kind of stuck waiting. Larry not quite sliding off the island. A little bit of time lost, but oh well.
We have Mev going for... Looks like door fly again.
Wants to nail this trick.
Very nice.
That's what the people paid to see.
Very
nice.
278 kilo.
That's what you're going for there. You don't want to kind of grab that ledge at all, just go through. We got interrupted while we were talking about Larry's castle earlier. But you're right, it's pretty straightforward. Just
This room 1 right here. You just got to watch out for those ball chains. But right here, what you're going to see Mev do is do a scroll to the left. It looks like he's pausing the screen, which essentially he is. Does that so you can get a certain spawn on that Magic Koopa right there. Or I believe it's actually for the pencil, sorry.
Yeah.
That pencil spawns at a weird time.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Lanx actually got a
Wow,
nice
very
door fly
nice.
in room 2. Mev, my goodness, running under those pencils.
Very nice.
SMW
And that's how
talent
you
on
want.
display here.
Yeah. That was a very nice Castle 7.
So the trick with this spike room, you look for that third sort of out protruding spike to go into the ceiling on the left side, then start running. You'll make it through every time.
Looking a little low here. Yep.
It's going to be a slow, dark room. Not a big deal. He's got a nice margin of error at this point.
And you have our first runner entering Bowser's fight. They're going to be attempting cape kill here.
Nice duck fly. That's frame perfect, right?
Yeah, I think so. Same frame as you hit down and jump.
So this is Bowser. Bowser likes to fly around, likes to throw Mecha Koopas, which traditionally you have to go throw back at Bowser, but we're going to go for the cape kill.
See here has that extra one. He's going to want to destroy it or get rid of it. Okay.
Nice. If
That
Bowser
works.
throws... There can only be 2 Mecha Koopas on the screen at once, so if Bowser throws 2, you did it. Oh, we're going to go for the skip here. Mario's iframes last just long enough.
Very nice D-boost from 5.
Get through that room a little bit faster.
What you're going to have Lanx attempting here is a trick called ball skip. Saves a lot of time on this Bowser fight. Essentially, you should have about, what, 2 balls being thrown out at you in one cycle?
There was
and-
usually 2 balls in one cycle, right? Ooh. It's okay. This is fine. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
So we're going to see the second ball. He's wants to just defend this Mecha Koopa, though. He doesn't want it waking up again. He just wants to land that hit at this point and get 2 more Mecha Koopas.
Things got a little...
A little spicy.
Yeah.
So fortunately,
Gotta get
the
that hit.
Princess Peach does
Okay.
throw a mushroom to Mario at the start of cycles 2 and 3, or phases 2 and 3. You just need to avoid this fire. They come down just every other tile. It's pretty easy, and especially if it starts in the middle of the room, it should start despawning early enough, so he should be just fine here. Yeah, you can go for the early hit, or you could get the mushroom. The mushroom's definitely worth it. Losing it, the hit, not too bad. There's obviously a little bit of time loss
There
involved.
is, yeah, but it's not. I think it's probably the safe move at this point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not comfortable being small in Bowser's fight.
It's 5, and that's 6.
6 hit on Bowser.
That's going to do it.
You'll have time for Lanxion on Peach. GG. Very nice.
Lanxion's going to win this tournament. Very
I believe
nice.
it was like a 36-22, which is a very solid time. Honestly, anything under like sub 40 in this category is a very good time.
Yeah, and
A lot of things can go wrong.
I think this has been pushed down into the, you were saying earlier, the mid
34
range.
OX maybe it's at now, this category, which is just insane. I think you have to top 10 in this category, you have to have a 34 at that point.
That's the Bowser hit we were going for. Mev's just going to wrap this up here.
Going for that 6th and final hit.
That'll do it for Mev. Very nice.
Very nice. GG.
GG's.
37
Give them a
flat.
round of applause for our top 2 here. Mev and Lanx, congratulations. I think we're going to get to talk to them for a few minutes after this.
I believe so.
GG's to everybody.
GG, guys. Nice.
So yeah, really kind of Morton's started this.
Yeah, just
Lanx-
about.
Lanx
right?
getting through there. Mev having a little bit of trouble, never quite able to close the gap. Definitely played strong though.
Once you lose a cycle in Morns, I believe it's anywhere from like 15 to 20 seconds. And as you can tell right there, that was just about, like you were saying, just
It's almost the difference. There's still some shenanigans later on this run. Lang's kind of dropping that cycle in Wendy's Castle.
cost
Just
them
taking
a little bit
too
as well.
long.
Yeah.
But then Doorfly sort of the final straw there.
Very true. and-
Especially with Cape Kill going a little awry on Lanx's side.
Wow. Yeah, it actually got a lot closer than it probably should have at the end right there with that, what was it, losing the cape on, what phase was that? First? Was it first? No, second phase.
It was the second phase. The
Yeah.
Mecha Koopa woke up on him,
Oh, that's
and
right,
he
he
was
was
still
throwing it
holding it.
Ugh.
Yeah, we're just going to take a quick break, I think, and just let our runners take a breath first.